Hello, great British foodies. My name's Adam, and today I'm going through the news in the UK. The first topic that I wanted to mention is a bit of a weird one, right? Okay, so I was doing my Googling, as I normally would, and basically, lab-grown food may be a step closer in the UK. So, I'll explain. So, normally, you'll have your meat, obviously, which is grown in the traditional methods, right? You'll either be rearing food, i.e. the animals, or you'll be growing the food, i.e. the crops. In this situation, what they're doing is they're awarding £1.6 million of funding from the government's Engineering Biology Sandbox Fund. Okay, and basically it's going to be a 2-year program where they're going to analyse the potential impacts and the safety of lab-grown food. Specifically, I believe it's going to be lab-grown meat. So rather than rearing cattle, for example, then essentially you're going to be manufacturing a slab of meat in a factory, in a scientist lab. I'm not too sure about that. And in other news, would you believe that toddlers in the UK consume about half of their daily calories from ultra-processed food, and it goes up to around 59% by the time they reach 7 years old. Wow. Now, the problem is parents get a lot of flack, right? You're supposed to be feeding your children really healthy, nutritious food. But really healthy, nutritious food is just far too expensive here in the UK at the moment. It is much cheaper to buy ultra-processed foods. And of course, if the parents themselves are buying ultra-processed food for their own diet, it is going to naturally, progress into their kids. So yeah, that's going to be a problem. I consider this quite an epidemic. Is that the right word? I would say so. That essentially a huge majority of the population are going to be completely and utterly obese by the time they even reach their teenage years. Very, very worrying study. And we touched on this last week. However, the McRib has officially been confirmed by McDonald's. If you don't know what the McRib is, like me, because I've never actually eaten it, because it was last released, I believe, in around 1985, it's basically a tender pork patty. So it's basically a rib of pork. They make these lines in it that makes it look like barbecue ribs, basically. They put a bit of tangy barbecue sauce. No McDonald's, there'll barely be any sauce on it. They slap a few pickles, so that no McDonald's, again, that'd be 2 pickles. Some onions, and it's in some soft home-style bun. Home-style bun. Now, I've had a look at the pictures, and I don't know if it's going to be exactly the same bun as what it was before, but it looks very dry. It looks like the type of bread where if you just pull it, it'll just fall apart. Very light, I suppose, but not a lot to it. Not particularly excited about it, but if you've tried it previously and you're going to try it again, let me know what your intentions are and when you're going to pick it up, because I believe it's launching 16th of October. Now, apparently, this is already a thing, but they're bringing it back. So Coca-Cola, for their Zero lineup, have brought back cinnamon. Now, it's going to be available in Tesco. That's where we're seeing it at the moment. So a 2-litre bottle will set you about £1.85. Coke and things have got far too expensive. It used to be £1. What is going on? The world is in absolute chaos because you can't buy a 2-litre bottle of Coke, especially Coke Zero, because there's no sugar tax, for £1. It's £1.85. So yeah, apparently it's not new. It is returning. I might have to pick that up and give it a try because I do like cinnamon. Not sure whether or not it will work in Coca-Cola format. But, let's give it a try. Now, finally, some news for Sainsbury's. Sainsbury's are bringing back the duck and spiced plum crisps. Obviously, this is part of their festive lineup. They're going to do them for £1.50 for 150 grams, which is actually fairly reasonable. Again, though, crisps, you used to be £1. What is going on? They do look quite nice. They look very, very festive. I'll give them that. I do normally like duck and plum, especially from the Chinese. I know that's a bit different. But whether or not it works in a crisp form, I'm not too sure. Please let me know in the comments if you've tried the duck and spiced plum crisps. They sound very interesting, at least. And it's M&S's turn. M&S, you always knock it out of the park with outrageous, amazing food. This time, it's brand new. They're going to have bargee battered fries. Yes, you've heard me correctly. Bargee battered fries. These are basically, I think they look like fairly thick chips, to be fair. So not really fries as such, but they're essentially, well, it might be because of the batter, but they're battered in onion bargee, basically flavouring with the same kind of crispy coating as an onion bargee. Wow. I'll try and put an image on screen for you now. It looks amazing. I am definitely going to pick them up. In fact, I am just going to have a look to see if they've launched what price it's going to be, because I am curious about these. Yes, here we go. So 400 grams is going to be £3.50. So they're not the cheapest things. By the looks of it, you know, when you go to the supermarket and you go to the takeaway section and you get your chips and your little pot of rice and you mix and match, it's going to be like a Chinese, or I should say Indian little style size container, so that you get from like an Indian takeaway. Looks pretty good. I'd say they're more thick style chips rather than fries. In fact, yeah, it's listed as fries, but it actually says battered chunky fries. Fries I would associate with the thin cut, but these are chunky ones. So yeah, that is £3.50, 400 grams. They have got 7 reviews online from Ocado, and so far only a 2 rating. People say they're awful, and the flavour just doesn't work, and they taste burnt. Maybe I might give them a try. And if you're obsessed over Baileys, because Baileys seem to be in absolutely everything at the moment, then there is now going to be Baileys Squirty Cream. That's right, Squirty Cream with Baileys in it. And also an espresso thick Baileys cream. It comes in a little pot. Again, I'm going to try and now get prices for you. Basically, it's that new that we don't even have prices on it. All we've got are similar items which have been sold in the past. It's not the same. There is a Baileys freshly whipped cream that you could buy in Iceland, which is currently out of stock. But this is espresso extra thick Baileys cream. So that should be pretty good. Hopefully it tastes quite strong of coffee, because I'm sure the coffee connoisseurs and Baileys connoisseurs out there would love that combination. So that's coming soon. So you can find those in your supermarkets, I'm imagining, within the next few days. And everyone's favourite, which was one of my favourites at least, Quality Street. Now, I used to not be a fan of these, but they're bringing them back for a second year running because people are demanding these. It's the coffee creams. Coffee creams have been confirmed by Nestle to be returning in the packs that you can buy. Also, I believe they have a Christmas cracker type version which you can buy. And also, I'm hoping that they are actually in the tubs, because then I can give them another try and see if I actually like them this year. They are incredibly popular, so that's why they are returning. No confirmation yet on prices. Again, these are just about to be released, so expect to see them in your supermarkets very soon. Whew! A lot of news today, but I'm glad we managed to cover it. As I say, sometimes it's impossible to find all this information out because none of this information is in a single source of news. And that's where Great British Foodies come in. So please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it to all your friends and family. We are on Facebook and on Instagram. If you search The Great British Foodies, you can find us there. We'll be posting brand new content as the run up to Christmas carries on. And ultimately, we want to make sure that we find as much interesting news and food news as possible. We'll be covering everything from lab-grown meat, as you've seen, to restaurants such as McDonald's, and also your fan favourites over in the supermarkets. So please make sure that you like, subscribe, comment on the video. Love you guys. See you again soon. Bye for now.